so long it's like alchemy.
Back in the NO, JaVale McGee getting his first start of the season for, I guess, arresting Zaza. They claim he's chipped up. There would be no S-Dot, obviously suspended for the Miami actions. But the ref was suspended too. I thought that was just cause, really, for both of them. DeMarcus early three ball. And there would be no Anthony Davis. I mentioned in my previous video, right? The torn groin or strained groin. So it was the Boogie show early. Look at him get the rebound and go coast to coast. Tight handle behind the back and then finds the corner three ball. And the real difference with New Orleans this year is they finally have shooters. And Darius Miller, Drew Holiday moved to the 2 spot. More on that later. Steph early. JaVale with the nice screen and the early pop from Steph. Now, you kind of have to guard DeMarcus like LeBron. See, if you gap him and you give him like a head full of steam or some sort of momentum towards the basket, it's game over, right? He has too good of footwork. He's too big and too skilled. You can't give him space to move downhill towards you. JaVale struggled a little bit. There's the trap and the outlet, and then Steph with the magic look-away pass. Clay, the extra one. JaVale finishes at the rim, and JaVale only played 11 minutes. He really just started the game, and that was it for those Zaza minutes. But take a look at the magic look-away pass. Haven't seen Steph break that thing out. Draymond is our biggest culprit as far as flopping goes here. Now, Bob Fitzgerald would have had you believe he was murdered and assaulted at the rim, but if you take another look, he kind of takes off from too far and then flails to the ground. It was a good no call. Draymond overreacting, and he's got to take the lead on this complaining. He's the biggest culprit as far as the players go, so it's going to be on him and Kerr to reel in this victim act that the Warriors have been pulling. And yes, it's just, but enough's enough. KD, the early transition pull-up three, and it'll be interesting to see how many he decides to take in the upcoming weeks, if you catch my drift. Now, here's where JaVale struggles, the lack of communication. Look at Steph. He's pointing. JaVale, get him. So Steph doesn't know if JaVale's going to switch or not. So Steph switches back, and then it leaves Boogie for the wide-open dunk. Now, that's not completely on JaVale, but that miscommunication doesn't happen with Zaza in the game. And the communication always falls on the big because he's behind and he can see what's transpiring rather than the guard who doesn't know where the screens are coming from, per se. Now, here's another technical from KD, man. His pockets are getting lighter. It's a good thing he's tech savvy in Silicon Valley, right? Because he's coming out of pocket like every other game. The early tee, Draymond jumps the passing lane. No flop, just 2 hands at the rim. Let's go. And so it's all been well documented now at this point. The bad calls, the favoritism towards the other team, and Steph with the touch call. It's a terrible call. Now, I have no problem with Steph doing this. He looks around, shakes his head. Now keep it moving. We can't go and argue. It's not like a referee's going to overturn the call. You got to keep it moving, man. I think it'll be a focus moving forward. Now, Jordan Bell just doesn't know who Rajon Rondo is, right? When whoever Rondo is guarding, you have to be extra secure when you pass the ball to them. He's a ball hawk, but then Bell bashes it back on the glass, and this is something that Jordan Bell's basketball character has shown through early on. When he makes a mistake, he doesn't hang his head. He usually makes a play right after that. You love to see that in a young player. And it was really all New Orleans early on. They couldn't shoot any better, right? But Steph, with that three, and then gets fouled on a three, really bailed us out in the first quarter and kept us in it. It could have been a much larger lead going into the second quarter. David West took over. These little flashes to the strong side where he was looking to shoot were excellent decision calls by Kerr, and really forcing Boogie Cousins to play defense and be aware on both ends of the court. Great strategy. P-Mac got in, feet set, it's wet. That's a tough shot, believe it or not. When you're that wide open, it can get in your head. McCaw takes his time, doesn't speed up his rhythm. I don't know what that was. The NO bounce from Steph on the sideline. Watch David West flash again here. Now, I know Iguodala was trying to employ the strategy, but he was far too passive in this game. There were several plays where Ig passed up shots or chances to go to the line and got us in trouble offensively. But look at D West, man. 9 points in 13 minutes, carrying the second unit in the second quarter. P-Mac, I love the drive, the thought, but then he gets racked across the face. Boogie, I'm just glad he didn't land awkward on a knee the way you get hit like that. But it's a no call. The kid's gushing from the nose, and it was just ironic because KD kept getting called for these touch fouls on his shot blocks, but Boogie gets away with bitch slapping McCaw at the end of his shot block here, man. But he should be all right. Hopefully it's not a broken nose. I haven't checked the IR on that. But then it became the Drew Holiday show. With Rondo back in the lineup, they moved Drew to the 2, and it looks like he's just more comfortable there as a natural scorer. He kind of has a rock-you-to-sleep pace. He's bigger than you think, and it was the hottest shooting we've ever seen from Drew Holiday ever. Now watch this laser from KD. And why I like him as a playmaker, maybe not the decision making, but that's a pass only a 7-footer can make because he can see over the top of the defense, finding Dre. And then when this happened, Rondo, who was left wide open all game, hits the three. I was like, uh-oh. When Rondo's hitting threes, you may be in trouble. Late in the second quarter, New Orleans all over us. Watch Draymond with another flop, and then watch the leg kick up at the end. That's just extra, Draymond. Stays down. Rondo's going to hit you with the Euro step, patent move, coast to coast. New Orleans up huge going into the half thanks to Drew Holiday. So apparently Kerr lit into them at halftime. He came storming down the hallway, cursing at the sideline chick. And so what you got in the third quarter was MVP, Steph. Look at the touch pass here. Beautiful play. But what Alvin Gentry and the Pelicans did very well defensively was watch Etwan Moore switch out on Steph real high, about 6-7 feet above the three-point line. KD is not used to that, and then it causes him to travel. And if you paid attention, they were picking up Steph and our shooters 5 and 6 feet behind the line, was causing some turnovers. Another beautiful touch pass, KD at the rim in the finish. It's really an underutilized play in basketball, that touch pass, right? I don't know why guys don't utilize it more. Now, KD, the maturation, and moving forward in these next few weeks, this is where he needs to operate. And it's kind of like Dirk Nowitzki. Remember how he was such a three-point shooter, and then as he got older, he moved down to that free throw line where he became way more efficient. Now, here's JaVale, the roll, always so much more difficult than it should be, JaVale. Just elevate and dunk the ball, JaVale. But he gets the and one, 11 minutes, like I said, he was fine. Steph was really feisty, offensive rebound, and then watch JaVale crack DeMarcus. Now watch him walk. You know, he liked that, man. Look at JaVale, man. I just was peeping his body language. I think he thoroughly enjoyed, paying back Boogie for young P-Mac with the crack to the face. But like I said, it was really MVP Steph, the catalyst in this third quarter. 5 threes on the night, hand in the face. It does it. But watch New Orleans transition defense. He thinks Clay's going to be open, right? Look at this. Nope, they're picking him up way out there. Kind of makes the hesitation. KD, 1 of 5 from downtown, 19 points, and the frustration bubbled over later in this game. More Steph. Boogie, you got to get out sooner than that. 3. How many did he have? Someone tell me how many he had in the third, man. But he had a ton. And brought us back. KD, Euro step past that hater. Gets the finish. Something that makes Clay's efficiency even more amazing. Sometimes he goes whole quarters without getting a shot, and then all of a sudden he's asked to knock it down, and you know what he does? He knocks it down. 4 of 5 from downtown in this one. Now, I know Iguodala's been out a few games, but I was not pleased with his decision-making in this game. He passes up the jump shot. Now, right here's an opportunity. You're going to go to the line, and then he makes the extra pass and leaves Bell in no man's land. Iguodala just too timid, too passive offensively in the half court. He would redeem himself defensively, but he frustrated me. And then KD, more sloppy turnovers. And this is very interesting. Watch, Kerr is absolutely irate after this, and I think it's very telling that watch the players. All of them go away from him because they don't want to be scolded by Kerr. And that's a good sign. Teams like Billy Donovan or the Thunder, right? They'll go sit right next to him because there's no fear or respect of their coach. Golden State kind of staying away from angry Kerr. That's a good sign. Lets me know they respect their coach. Out of the timeout, who do you go to? Mr. Consistent. Elbow, wing, jumper, Clay. Got it. Back and forth. This game, probably the best game of the season thus far. Drew came back to earth in the second half. He hit this 3, right? But 32 points, you kind of felt like, all right, that sounds about right. He's not going to score too many more than 32. He kind of has a ceiling on what he can do offensively. Steph, and this is that corner ice play. It's virtually impossible. Now, Jameer got completely lost on that, but I just don't know how you defend that if you're an opposing coach. It's very slick play design from Steve Kerr. And then Steph, being extra feisty, rips it out of the 7'2" Ashik's hands. Caspi, his release is slow, so he can't get off shots in a hurry, but Steph's like, I'll finish it at the rim and take the body bump. Now, I want to credit New Orleans for battling all the way through, but I feel like at this point we're really in their head. 13 wins in a row. Several large come-from-behind victories, the buzzer beater in the playoffs, right? And New Orleans can almost feel like, uh-oh, it's coming, it's coming. And I like this. Watch, David West, DeMarcus, Draymond's like, don't say nothing to my OG, homie. Don't say nothing to my OG. And it's like every time we play these guys, you know this is what's going to happen. So DeMarcus, rumbling, and David West with the boxer hands. Not only did he give us the offensive outburst in the second quarter, but defensively he was huge down the stretch. Clay resets 22 on the night. But to me, what was even more impressive was instead of the heat check on the very next play, no, he trades in the 3 for the easy dunk at the rim for David West and passes up the heat check. That's something just even last season Clay wouldn't have done. He used to get tunnel vision and just let it fly, but now creating for others, being a better teammate. And I said I wasn't happy with Ig. He did step up defensively, jumping the lanes, and that's how you finish, Andre. That's how you finish. We need you to do that. I know you're saving yourself, but damn. Now, Boogie was really kept in containment thanks to David West. He hits this three, but he only had 19 points, and Bob kept bringing up his minus, his plus minus. They were minus with him on the floor, even with a 20-point lead. And there's more. David West, remember, he's a boxer in the offseason. The old man still has quick hands. And then KD, just another sloppy turnover. He had 7 on the game. And we're really going to see him have to make some adjustments here this next month or so, right? Iguodala, no, that's not a replay. The same type of steal. The patience. Nick Young extra on the flop. That's all right. He finishes. So he finished strong, man, but I didn't like his early tentativeness. And then this is just like pissing on a fire hydrant. KD with Jameer Nelson on him in no sweet spot. Gets the basket. Golden State has the lead. Now, Kerr didn't bring Steph back in until like the 4:55 mark. A little bit late. He went right back to work on Boogie, dancing and prancing to the rim. And then Swaggy comes in, and he was due, right? He was due. Splash. Probably would have never even got this opportunity if P-Mac hadn't got knocked out of this game. So he only made 2 baskets on the night. Both of them threes, both of them in the fourth quarter. Huge momentum swinging plays, and that's just what you're going to get from Swaggy. It's hit or miss. It was hit tonight. Then Draymond never ceases to amaze me. I don't think he had a shot in the second half of this game. First one with 3 minutes left. It's a 3 in Boogie's face. More Iguodala scared of the free throw line, but he's lucky Clay bails him out in probably one of the hardest spots to hit a jumper in the game. That no man's land baseline jumper. Clay got it anyway. And old Platypus Lips knows what time it is, man. He's starting to think about that hen dog, right? With 2:20 left in this one, it doesn't look good. And then more BDD. Shout out to my Warriors World fam. Draymond Green, back-to-back threes, man. And it's like, what does his percentage shoot to when it's a meaningful basket? Now watch Draymond. He's barking at KD. He's scolding him, get out of the play. I want to run the high pick and roll. And Boogie and KD had already been exchanging words. Now, both of these dudes get thrown out, right? And it's starting to get annoying. But I wonder if KD was a little more frustrated with his own play, 7 turnovers, Draymond, barking at him. So I don't know. I think KD was in his emotions about several things. And then Boogie, Boogie strikes me as the type of dude that even if he's like winning a fight, while he's throwing punches, he's like sobbing, and he's throwing punches. He's used to the early exit, man. But I've seen enough of this for now. Adam Silver's grinning, right? He's like, cut the check. And then this happens. Steph Curry rolls the ankle in a meaningless steal attempt with a minute left in this game. And I hate to kick a man when he's down, but it's like, Steph, were you trying to pad your stats with the steal? Why are you diving for that steal? It's the right ankle. Apparently he was on crutches and in a boot. The X-rays are negative, but it looks like it's going to be at least 2 to 4 weeks. It's not a bounce back ankle injury. Look at it turn all the way over. It's a bad one. So we're going to face some adversity here, y'all, and it's going to be entertaining and interesting, but as long as Steph can get back this season, we should be good. I'm out, y'all.